Hey everyone, welcome back to Movies Are Life. I am Nathan.
And this is Whitney.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've done this. I think even my children were a little surprised when I started breaking out the podcast equipment, but here we are. So yeah, it has. Why is that? Why has life just been a little more hectic for us in the beginning of 2025?
Yeah, I guess so. For you.
Not for you?
Nah. I'm always busy.
You just go with the flow. I just let it get to me a little bit more. Yep. So how have you been feeling about just movies, entertainment so far in the year 2025?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Except I feel like we watch a lot more sports. Maybe that was part of it.
Yeah.
We've been watching a lot of sports
Yeah.
because Oklahoma is amazing at all sports lately.
Yeah.
So I think that's been part of our problem with movies and TV, but
Yeah, we're big thunderheads here. Do people call themselves thunderheads?
No, I've never heard that. I don't think I like it.
You don't?
No.
Don't you think it should be a thing?
No.
Maybe I said that because our nephew's band, they have a song called Thunderhead.
Oh, maybe so.
I don't know. But yeah, that's really exciting. The College World Series just wrapped up, and our beloved Sooner softball team didn't quite make it there, but they had a great season.
Yeah,
so,
better than they should have. It was good.
So. Yeah. So, I have been able to see a couple things in the theater. Sinners was an incredible movie, probably one of the top in my list. I also went and saw Thunderbolts, which is the new Marvel movie, and I was really enjoyed that one as well. But as a family, recently we went and got to see Lilo and Stitch.
Yes, I loved it. I guess I just missed the generation of that cartoon.
Right.
That was not a cartoon I've ever seen, so I didn't know a lot about it besides what they look like visually everywhere in town. So Stitch is really annoying.
Yeah. He's
a lot.
He was stressing me out. I think when this is not a spoiler, but they walk into a very clean, pristine house, and he goes on to pretty much wreck it. And that's basically my nightmare come to life.
It is. So I didn't really find him appealing. I'm surprised people do, but I love the little girl in it, and I cried. And I cried twice, and I don't always cry. Anyway, I went on a roller coaster with it. I clapped at the end. I was in.
We saw it on a Tuesday night after, granted, a pretty bad storm, so the theater wasn't very full, but we could definitely hear Whitney's voice and laughter throughout.
It was funny.
This podcast was really just to kind of jump into the year. Have some pretty exciting announcements about the podcast, but we're gonna save that to the end. But one thing that's really exciting, and this is kind of what I've been gearing up for, but I had the honor to be selected to be a jury member for Best Narrative Feature for the deadCenter Film Festival in Oklahoma City that's coming up this week. It starts June 11th, goes to the 15th. And anyway, I'm really excited. One of my favorite events in the state of Oklahoma, just a celebration of film and especially independent filmmakers. And so anyway, you can grab passes at deadcenterfilm.org. Lots of great features, but also documentary shorts, live action shorts, and that sort of thing. But for the best feature, I had to consume quite a bit amount of films in a short amount of time. So that's been taking up a lot of my space. But I think besides the ones I've seen in the theater, I've been actually trying to kind of catch up on some of the best picture nominees from this year. And trying to watch those. Been working my way through The Brutalist, which is a pretty long film and that sort of thing. But
is it Brutalist? No,
that was bad.
I'm not watching it. I don't know.
And never. I'm sure that joke was never made before either. So you're the first one.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thanks. Good.
But also I wanted to quickly. I felt like we did get through the 50 best rom-coms. We watched them all. Had guests on, did a whole ranking, and I never did an episode just basically giving the awards at the end, like having announced like what truly, after all this watching, what we think is the best rom-com. And so, anyway, I brought Whitney in. She has not seen the list. She was pretty mad. We did an episode kind of checking in about halfway. She was kind of mad at me about like what was at the top, but I think you'll be a little bit more happy this time around.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. So, it took a lot of work, but what I did, I took my rankings, then I took all the guest rankings, and then basically put them in the calculator. And so these numbers are not Nathan's list. This is like Nathan, you, the guest, like all combined together. And so those are the averages. So I might have really liked a film, maybe someone not so much, or vice versa. But this is, I mean, I think this might be a pretty definitive list of the 50 best rom-coms. So,
Okay.
Yeah, off the top of your head, do you have one that just really stood out? I know you didn't watch all of them with me, but you watched a pretty good bit of them with me.
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. But I mean, the ones that just like truly define a rom-com for me is like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. It's just always at the top of my list of just fun.
Yeah.
But no, nothing else. I mean, I'm sure they'll pop out as you say them.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought I'd hit the 5 categories really quick. So we'll do those and then we'll reveal the best ones. And so some of these I won't go through like the top 10, but just maybe the top 5 or whatever like that. So the first category was romantic chemistry. And actually, even in my top 10, they're almost like all 5s. So I'm just going to go number 5 on down. But I don't think we have to touch on these too much. But the top 5, so number 5 was Sleepless in Seattle. So Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan bringing the chemistry there. Notting Hill, Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts. I don't even want to say this, number 3. You're just going to be mad at me. Harold and Maude. That can't be right. I don't remember ranking Harold and Maude's chemistry at number 5. But Sweet Home Alabama was number 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, they do play well off
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I'm surprised by that one, but
yeah, but like, I mean, if you think about it,
sure.
I mean, that film, I don't know if it appears in the other categories very much, but there was definitely chemistry there between Reese Witherspoon and
I don't remember
what's his name?
I don't know.
The voice of the Home Depot commercials.
Yeah.
But number 1, the chemistry was When Harry Met Sally.
Well, of course.
Well, of course, yeah. So
Meg Ryan made it twice in there.
yeah, yep, she did. So the bottom 5, just kind of quickly.
That guy's name was Josh Lucas, by the way.
Josh Lucas, yes, thank you. Mm-hmm. Look at you producing while we're talking through this. So real quickly, the bottom 5, just thought people would be curious about this. She's Gotta Have It. Which is kind of like, that was one of those movies. You didn't watch that one with me, but that's all about just kind of frayed relationships. And she actually at the end chooses herself. So that kind of makes sense why that's a little bit low.
Why the romantic chemistry wasn't there?
Yeah. Bridget Jones' Diary was low on there.
Well, she doesn't. Does anybody have romantic chemistry with her?
But, it's interesting. Another film that, even though it's a rom-com, very much is about the character themselves. Like it's about Bridget and 4 Weddings and a Funeral. I remember the chemistry between Hugh Grant and Andy McDowell is like number 2 is The Best Man, which also is kind of, once again, it's a rom-com, but it's all about the chemistry that isn't there between the characters. And number 1, the lowest chemistry was High Fidelity, which once again is very similar. It's all about him and his breakups, basically. So anyway, okay, so the next category are the best friends. I don't think we have the top 10, they were actually all 5s. So I'll just go through them real quick from 10 to 1. The Princess Bride, The Wedding Singer, 27 Dresses, While You Were Sleeping, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, Pretty Women, The Holiday, Say Anything, The Big Sick, When Harry Met Sally. So, yeah, there you go. And then the bottom one there, 13 going on 30 was number 1.
That's just because they're mean to each other.
Right. Yeah.
But
so,
that's
yeah.
such a. But as characters, and they go well together.
Right.
It fits the story, but they're just mean.
Yeah. So I'm just going to move to the next category, which is soundtrack. So this time I will start with the bottom 5. So these are ones you do not need to find on Spotify or Apple Music, however you listen. But so 5 to 1, Harold and Maude, The Wedding Planner, While You Were Sleeping, The Princess Bride, and Crazy Stupid Love.
The wedding the wedding planner.
Wedding planner.
I heard wedding singer.
Yeah.
I was mad at you for a minute.
As far as the top 5 for the soundtrack, so definitely go seek these out. 500 Days of Summer. Number 4, The Wedding Singer. Number 3,
there it is.
Number 3, She's Gotta Have It. Number 2, Sleepless in Seattle. And then number 1, When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a trend here for sure. Okay, so chase scene. Real quick, I don't think the bottom ones are really need a lot of explaining, but the bottom 3 on that one was The Wedding Planner, Bridget Jones's Diary, and My Best Friend's Wedding. So where she still is like a subway car or something like that, or something like that. Yeah, but as far as the chase scenes for the top 10, they were all 5s. But the top 5 there, There's Something About Mary at number 5, Sleepless in Seattle, number 4, Notting Hill, number 3, Jerry Maguire, number 2, and the number 1 chase scene was Pretty Woman.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That was a good episode.
Yeah.
Our sister-in-law, Debbie Graham, joined us for that. And
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days should have been on that chase scene.
Oh.
Where'd it fall? I love that chase scene.
Yeah. It wasn't in the top 10.
They kept the fern. I love fern.
But like I said, I'm sure it probably was up there too, because the top 10 were all 5. So I don't know why I didn't crack it, but yeah. And so, okay, last category, rewatchability. I'll go ahead and do the bottom 5 of rewatchability. Well, even number 5 was Hitch, but that was at a 3. So really, generally for these 50 best rom-coms, like as a whole, even though if they weren't the best movies ever, it's worth watching, or like if they're on the TV.
I'm surprised by Hitch. I'd watch Hitch again.
Yeah, it was a 3 though. It was like, so yeah. But number 4, My Best Friend's Wedding. Number 3, Bridget Jones's Diary. Number 2, Moonstruck. And number 1, The Wedding Planner, which came in at number 1. And then, once again, rewatchability, top 10, they were all 5s. I'll just do 10 through 1 real quick. Say Anything, Pretty Woman, There's Something About Mary, The Big Sick, Bull Durham, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. There you go. 10 Things I Hate About You, Palm Springs, Groundhog Day, and When Harry Met Sally. Yeah, so there you go. So I guess I should put in a drum roll or something right here. Should I do the bottom rom-coms first? Okay. So the bottom 5. Let me get have this nifty little spreadsheet here. So number 5 was She's the Man, which
just doesn't hold up.
Right. But it's definitely, I think, a movie for a certain generation, for sure. Amanda Bynes, that just was like, just not. She wasn't a big part of our growing up. Number 4 was Working Girl. Have you seen that one? Yeah. So, but it's at a 2.8, so it's still like, it's not the worst thing ever. Moonstruck was number 3. Number 2 was Bridget Jones's Diary, surprisingly. And then number 1, I just laughed again. It was The Wedding Planner. So I really think people should go back and check out that episode.
And by number 1, you really mean 50.
Right. Yeah. So, yes.
Yeah. No, I know, but I mean, you're counting back. Like, that's the worst, right?
Yeah, okay. Right, yeah. So, all right. So, okay, here it is. The top 5 rom-coms. So, years of work walking through this list. So I will say that I think you would be happy with these 5. Okay. So if you got stranded on an island and someone said these are your 5 films, I think you'd be okay. Number 5, Notting Hill.
Yeah, happy.
Yeah. I remember
I was more surprised by it. When
Me too.
We rewatched it.
Yeah, when we rewatched it, I was just, I was very taken aback by how much I liked that film. Number 4 is Pretty Woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so very high up there. Number 3, Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Huh. You don't agree with that one? Eh?
It always just is kind of a sleepy one to me. Sleepless in Seattle. It's not my favorite, but I understand.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of scenes are shot at night. Maybe that's why
I think it's more romantic and less comedy.
Yes,
that's why
true.
I'm not as in.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. Okay, number 2. I want to hear this one for me. I could argue for it being number 2. I think a lot of people wouldn't, but I'm curious about your opinion. But number 2 is The Wedding Singer.
Interesting. I mean, I'm surprised by that because I think it's more comedy than romantic. So
it is, but I remember even talking about it. Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, they went on to make several films with each other.
But I think we love Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. Talking about a person of our time. Yeah, that's our person. I think if you're at lunch with a group of people that are varied ages, that's maybe not going to be their pick, but that's fine. Yeah, this is our list.
Yeah, it's our list. Yeah. It would be interesting to maybe pull someone who's Gen Z and show it to them. I would love their reaction. One, just from the movie itself, but also from the 80s-ness of it to see if they would think that's funny at all or connect to it. But killer soundtrack, just funny, and it hits all the rom-com aspects. So number 1, I don't think it's a huge surprise because it's actually the number 1 on the Ringer's 50 Best Rom-Coms list, but it's When Harry Met Sally.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so. I'm surprised by Sleepless in Seattle. I would maybe not make that in my top 5, but that's fine.
Yeah. When's the last time you've seen it?
I think that I fell asleep in the theater when I was 13, and then it's on, and I could tell you what happened, but I don't know if I've sat and watched it from start to finish. So again, it's not my. I can't really speak to it. Yeah, I know that.
I think it's more so that it hits the beats of what we think of a rom-com.
Yeah, sure.
Killer soundtrack. I mean, the chase scene, right? I mean, they're meeting at the Empire State Building. You got Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan. The best friends in that movie are great. I think Rob Reiner one of them? I think he is. I want to say, Rita Wilson, I think, maybe. Yeah. And then rewatchability. So it just kind of maybe, but as far as if you want a good rom-com, there you go. So there you go. Anyway, we did it.
Yay!
Did we do it, or did I do it, or
I didn't get to do it? You didn't pick me on all the movies. You picked other people, and then I got filled in.
You didn't get filled in. No.
True story.
Yeah. You should talk about your enthusiasm to do this recording
today.
I
did. I saw him setting up the equipment, and I was like, what am I doing?
Oh, yeah. Just bringing you back into it. So anyway, I think that was it was a really fun list. I enjoyed seeing movies that I hadn't seen before.
I want to watch them again.
You do? Just run it. Let's run it back.
Run it again.
I do think... I think 50 films was more of an undertaking than I realized at the time, but
What's your movie that you fought and died for? It didn't make it on one of those top lists.
It made the top 10 of some, but 500 Days of Summer, you were really mad about that one.
I was.
But I would like you to see it again.
I will. I just want it noted that it wasn't the top 5 of any of them. So I win.
You win. Now, granted, on the Ringers list, it's number 50, and so I think it's number 50.
No,
I said that. I'm not really sure. Producer, can you help me out here? No, it's number 50. So yeah.
So the Ringer and I know best. I mean, I like it. It's not that. It was too indie and too quirky and weird to be a top romantic comedy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It didn't prove out. So I just needed some accolades that I was right.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I thought aren't you pretty pleased by the results? Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. So
except for my 10 things I hate about you. No, how to lose a guy in 10 days. That's what I mean.
Yeah. It was still. I mean, it's still very solid.
It was.
Yeah. So, well, awesome. Well, okay. So as promised, I'm really excited about this. on the Movies or Life feed, we will be having 2 new series of podcasts.
2.
Have I even told you about these,
This
Whitney?
is adventurous. No.
Well, so the first one, the new series is going to be called "You Had Me at Rewind: The '90s Flicks That Raised Us." It's a nostalgia-soaked rewatch series revisiting the movies that made us, from sleepovers and mall dates to awkward middle school crushes. These were the films that filled our VHS shelves and our hearts. So, how do you feel? How do you feel about that?
I think I feel really good. I'm sitting over here because my friends and I had a movie in the 90s that we rewound and watched over and over and over. And I'm going to tell you what it is at some point so I can, like the monsters.
The Monsters? Well, I haven't talked about this before. The Monsters?
Is that what it's called?
What?
Little Monsters?
Little Monster with Fred Savage?
Let me look. We had a crush on one of them.
Fred Savage?
No, not I should because he looks like you, but I don't think so. It wasn't a cartoon. No, not Little Monsters. No. It was real people. I can't find it. I will find it.
With real people. Real people are in Little Monsters. Howie Mandel, Fred Savage.
Oh, well, when I just looked it up, it looked like a cartoon.
Oh.
Time will tell.
I'm just...
I'll let you know later.
Okay. You figure that out. But,
Okay.
so I'm tapping into just some just special guests. And I'm curious. I mean, I was going to let Whitney pick one as well to talk about. But I think it's going to be really fun because it will be a little bit more a dissection of the movies. But it's actually going to be more of a talking about like, why are they so memorable to that person, but also how they impacted cinema. And then, even though our daughter Hallie was giving us a hard time when I used the word cinema.
No, film. She doesn't like when you say film.
Yeah.
It is a new word you've adopted. You used to say movies, and now you say film, and it is a little pretentious. So I'm with her. I get it.
Yeah. Do I need to move on, or did you find it yet?
I can't find it, but I do think that Little Monsters is one that I was talking about, but it's 1989, so it's off our list.
Yeah.
No such luck.
Well, and I think what will be fun, it might be another rom-com, but it really, I'm hoping to get hit on different genres and stuff like that. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. So
I take bribes if you anybody has one that you want us to cover. You can let me know.
You do take bribes?
Yeah, from the audience.
Okay, yeah. I'm open to that as well. So, and then I'm excited about the second one. This one, and Whitney's especially excited about this one because you will be exclusively a co-host on this one.
What?
I know.
What is it?
Yeah, we're just giving the people what they want.
What they want, what they really, really want.
So the other series is going to be Not Caught Up. It's our new TV review show for people with busy lives.
Yeah, because we love TV.
We love TV shows, and we love talking about these TV shows. But you got to give us a minute to catch up.
Yeah, we don't have time to binge watch anything.
Yeah, so that's the concept of this, and I think we're not the only ones. Like, people are out there and they're busy, and almost. It might be my fault, but I would say, like, if you're out with a group of friends at a dinner party or whatever, at some point it comes around to like what shows are being watched, and there's so many things out there, and people have seen them or haven't seen them. So anyway, these will be they'll be light, fun, maybe a little spoiler-ish, but anyway, I thought that'd be
all
a lot
my
of
friends
fun.
from work. Someday we should have a guest podcast because we talk about that at lunch every day.
Yeah.
What are we watching?
So just for example, we were a little late to it, but we watched Landman this year. So I thought that'd be like a fun one to cover. So anyway, this is a perfect TV review podcast for people with busy lives. And I think people will enjoy it. But anyway, that's what we have for you. So I'm really excited to kind of get this going. And we got some movies and TV shows to watch now, I guess. So
great. Yeah.
Well, happy summer, and we will talk to you soon. I was going to say talk to you soon, but nobody talks to us.
Nope.
All right. Have a good one.